So my next question is about social work models or theories that you normally use in your teaching. You have already talked about indigenization and decolonization, and also Ubuntu. Are there other concepts that you use in your teaching that you think, oh, these are important for other students to know about?
Of course, I don't know whether you are familiar. I'm sure you are familiar with what we call holistic models in social work practice.
Yes.
You know, holistic models. Some people refer to them also as holistic approaches in social work. And a very good example of this is what is used as the systems theory. Now, this model, says that there are systems, and these systems that we live in, yes, are intertwined in different ways. There are factors that come in to affect these systems. And unless we deal with all these factors, we deal with them together, then we cannot be able to say that holistically we are addressing the problems that may be confronting our clientele. So this theory or this approach, this model comes in here to say, therefore, that there is no problem that exists in the society in isolation of other factors. There are other factors that contribute towards the existence of that particular problem. This model, holistic model, goes on again to argue that for this particular problem to be addressed or to be handled, there has to be a set of multi-players to deal with it. The client will not just benefit from the intervention that is being given by the practitioner or the social worker. Some other intervening variables will have to be involved in. So who are these? It talks about who this change, it talks about who will be the person to benefit from this particular change. It goes on to talk about the person who will drive this change, who in this case is the social worker. It goes on also to talk about the target. The target in this includes the person, the factors which could be inanimate, which could be environmental or other things which are responsible for this particular problem. They need to be addressed and they need to be tackled. And it also talks about the processes that will be used so that we can be able to deal with that particular problem. So let me give you this example here. Jacob, I hope you're with me.
Yes.
The problem is what? Say, for example, it's alcoholism in our community where we are working. That problem does not just occur anyhow, but that problem will affect people in their workforce. That people will lower the national economy. That problem will destroy careers of other people. That problem will destroy families. And that problem will bring about trauma to many people in the society. You get to see that? Those are the multi-dimensions of that particular problem. So the question here is, who is affected by this particular problem? In this case, you realize we have the client, that is the consumer, who is consuming or drinking that booze, that alcohol. We have his family, they will be affected. We have the place where he works, they will also be affected in one way or the other. And by extension, we have the society or the community that will be affected. And again, the nation at the end of it all will be affected. Now, can you see that? So we ask ourselves, who will benefit from the change that will be done to address this particular problem? The client himself will benefit. The family, again, will benefit. The community will benefit. And the nation, by extension, will benefit. Then what is it that is causing this particular problem? Now, the same society that will benefit is the one that is contributing to this particular problem by way of creating peer pressure to this young fellow who becomes a drunkard. Out of these, there are people who are, making, selling, distributing these booze, which goes on to do the harm that we get to see. So all of them are the target that we may need to address so that we can deal with this particular problem. The main argument here is, if we were to say that we will only focus on the client in isolation of these other factors, that problem cannot be adequately addressed. Hence, the need to approach it holistically. And this is what I call the holistic model, the holistic approach to doing things. Now, with regard to the process of handling it, whom shall we use? Again, I, being the social worker, I will be there. I will also use family members so that they can also encourage this person. I will use peers, yeah, so that they can actually come up and show this particular person. Consuming alcohol is not what will make you get a name. It's not what will make you be who you want to be in the society. Sometimes I will use law enforcement agencies so that law enforcement agencies can come and do what? They can actually come and facilitating the process. For example, apprehend those who are making this brew, those who are selling it, because much of the brew that is detrimental to the well-being of people is actually what we call, illicit brew. And this is something that you find in our many local communities in Africa. So unless we use all this and also come up with government policies, we make sure that we have corresponding legislation to deal with this, it will be difficult for us to manage our problem. So for this reason, I am a champion of what I'm calling holistic models or holistic approaches in as far as handling of problems in our contemporary society is concerned.
That's quite detailed. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. That's the holistic model.